and diseased is in heat around here. Why do you do that, Teal?
Oh, God, this smells like licorice.
It's fish perfume. You spray it on a lure, it makes the fish more aggressive. Gives you a better chance of catching a bigger fish. And the older the fish, the better the sense of smell.
You guys, someone is watching us.
This is your first classic, isn't it, Evelyn?
Yeah, now I know what the classic butterflies are. I'm scared to death. I'm going to go all the way out onto that lake and don't catch anything.
Well, the pressure will be hard as a booger, but I'll tell you what, if you're not catching nothing, you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenery. Elephant Butte Reservoir is the most beautiful lake I've ever seen. It's got every kind of structure you want to fish. Shallow, deep, and the water is clear. Gin clear.
Somebody just moved.
Where, Teal?
Behind that cottonwood.
Oh, some old dust devil. You know, they got a new rule this year, says you gotta have a kill switch attached to your body. So in case you fall over, the motor comes out.
I did hear that. I know a woman who clips her right to her bra. So what time are we supposed to check in at the marina in the morning?
Well, we should be there by 5:30 to check out the boats. It's only a 10-minute drive up the road.
Okay, well, to be on the safe side, let's just aim for 5:15.
I know a woman keeps her worms in her bra. She does.
I hear you're not... What happened to you this year, Teal? You must have fished the last 5 classics. How come you didn't qualify?
Bad year.
Well, what happened?
Oh, when?
This year?
Huh?
What happened to you that was so bad you didn't qualify for the class?
Oh.
Oh. That bad, huh? Well, I'm sorry. Where the hell is that Jack Daniels?
It's right here, Ramona.
Personal stuff. Randy, my husband, you know, managed to knock himself into the septic tank with the backhoe. Don't ask me how. He was cleaning it out, ended up plunging wrist first into the tank, shattered his arm in like a million places like a windshield. Next thing you know, I'm working a double shift and Randy is having an affair with the night waitress at Mr. Donut.
Caught him right on premises. Could you imagine the gall?
At Mr. Donut.
Yeah, one time he came home and Teal caught him with blackberry filling all over his credit cards. Didn't you, Teal?
Of course, everyone in town's been with her.
Oh, don't feel bad, honey. Most men just feel inadequate. They don't know the art of making love. They only know the art of screwing, and that's not an art. Most of them are only 5 minutes in the process anyways. Evelyn, these Rice Krispie bars are divine.
Really? Oh, I took the recipe right off the box.
Good for you.
Randy was pretty good.
You know, they're all just looking for their mothers anyway, only they want young, beautiful mothers. Somebody to look after them, I guess. It's incestuous, really it is.
But he was awful nice to sleep next to. Soft.
Was?
Haven't seen him in like 5 months. Next thing you know, he'll probably turn up in a Mr. Donut commercial.
Don't worry, Teal. You will find somebody soon. All men feel nice in the dark. Of course, when you get right down to it, doesn't matter who you're sleeping next to, given he's asleep. What kind of a lure is this?
That's a chartreuse gold flake pearl bushwhacker with a sample ball bearing swivel and a stinger hook from Bomber Bait.
It's really pretty. Teal says you like fishing the Zara Spook.
Yeah, I do. I like it because it pisses the fish off. Doesn't try to tempt them or nothing or rile them, just... Or act sultry, just riles them. What are you fishing tomorrow?
Spinnerbait.
Oh, sounds good. You ever try casting underhand?
Underhanded? No.
Yeah. If we get a chance this weekend, I'll show you how.
Really?
Yeah. An underhanded cast takes 2 seconds less than an overhanded cast. Saves a lot of airtime. You can make more speed. You can make more casts. And you can cover more water.
Wow, thanks, Ramona.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Oh, see, the worst part, Ramona, is that I have asthma. But I know it's partly mental.
Well, mental's bad. I've been there.
I have been to the emergency room 3 times this fall. Couldn't catch my breath. Lou, the driver for the first responders, he's seen me so often, he knows my place and date of birth by heart.
Well, honey, maybe he's interested in you.
Oh, Lou, you think so? No.
Could be.
No.
Anyways, Ramona, I'm doing this mental thing too, and it's got me ready to move out of my mind.
I'm taking a whiz.
See ya.
What's that?
I type everything I see or hear. Road signs, billboards. I'll type what people are saying, and sometimes I'll zip right off and finish their sentences for them.
What do you mean type?
Type, like on a keyboard. In my mind, well, I'll take the letters and I'll mix them around and I'll use the opposite hand to type them. And okay, so say it's a word like fishing. Instead of typing the F with this finger, I'll type it with this finger, because you see, this finger is opposite to this finger being opposite to this finger, and this finger being opposite to this finger. So fishing, instead of being F-I-S-H-I-N-G, it is F-I-S-H-I-N-G. See, now I'm doing it backwards. I can do it backwards, forwards, too. I do it all day long, whether I'm flying or fending off Talmadge. Just constant traffic, steady flow. Go figure, hey?
Shit.
Timmel Deeps. Oh, that's speed limit backwards. See? T-I-M-I-L-D-E-E-P-S. See, now I'm doing it backwards, forwards. Now I'm doing it backwards, mirror image.
You could probably read the Satanic Bible in the original. It's written backwards, upside down. That's the way the devil wrote.
Really?
Uh-huh. Whenever the witches want to write to the devil, they write backwards, upside down.
I believe it. It's hell, let me tell ya.
You better slow down on that bottle, honey. How long has this been going on?
Oh, it started a few years back, in my later teenage years. I was a telephone operator for BC Tel. Got up to 102 words per minute. But, then I went to junior college and I had to drop out. I couldn't understand what my teachers were saying. My mind was just so besieged.
You went to junior college?
Yeah, I did for 2 months. And do you think I got any tuition refund? Excuse me. Could I please have my $800 back? Quote, why, unquote. Oh, typing in my mind. I know it has to do with being tense. I know it does. I was a very, very tense teenager.
You tense now, Evelyn?
Apparently.
Why?
Oh, I'm not really sure.
I'm back.
Hey, Teal. Well, Talmadge is really pushing for us to get married, but that's nothing new. And my boss wants to open up this whole other branch of Men's World on the other side of Kamloops.
Men's World?
It's a health club, for men.
I figured.
Well, I'm secretary to the owner, and he wants to open up this whole other branch and appoint me the office manager.
Well, office manager sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it is, but, well, it would mean taking on more hours, going full time, and Talmadge isn't too wild about that one. I don't have the self-confidence to do it anyway. I haven't been feeling overly confident lately.
Too bad my grandmother isn't alive. She could have helped you with your typing.
Really? How?
Well, she had all the remedies for everything. My dad used to get these big heavy warts all over the backs of his hands. They'd get black, with a kind of callus on them, and they'd branch off into little warts, and then they'd grow big. Oh, they were ugly. Well, him being a plumber, he used to snag them half off sometimes. He'd be threading a pipe or crawling up under the house, and He'd snag them, but back in them days, the doctors couldn't do nothing but scoop them out with those little metal things. They couldn't kill them. It's like kind of a disease. Well, Grandma Frances, she'd take an old dish rag. You know, they'd sour sometimes in the summer. They'd get all moldy and stink just flopped up on the faucet. And she'd take that nasty old dish rag and she'd rub it all over his hands. She'd wait for the moon to be just right when she did it. She'd say something I don't know in another language. And then she'd go and bury that nasty old rag someplace special in the yard. She didn't want no one knowing where. My dad would go to sleep, and he'd wake up the next morning, his warts would be gone, his hands were clean.
Ramona, what happened to the rag?
She was quite a woman. Taught me how to fish Lake Fork, East Texas.
What happened to the rag?
I don't know, Teal.
Well, it just shows to go you. Our mind has a mind of its own, and it isn't even ours. Your bile is making liver right now, and you're not even lifting a finger. Well, it is.
Pass me another Rice Krispie bar, please.
Your body could be planting a whole row of warts right now, right across your face. Kind of like a zipper. Yep. You'd be the last to know.
These are so good.
You know that TV show, It's Your Life? What a laugh and a half that is.
Ramona, I wonder what your grandmother would give for asthma.
Probably the same thing she'd give Evelyn for typing. You see, the two of you were just doing different steps to the same dance. You're trying to make some sense, trying to get some control. It's like wallpaper in the world with your own familiar pattern. Everyone does it. Everyone's their own universe. What are you staring at, Teal?
You could be on the Dr. Phil show, Ramona. You would be awesome on a panel. You know, there have been times when I have just laid down my rod and watched you fish. Oh, it captures the eye.
You know my next door neighbor, Eunice?
No, honey, I don't.
Well, her eldest girl, Felicity, her and her friend, well, I think she was a pretty girl, in her early teens. They were taking this modern dance class, and well, the friend, she missed several weeks, and when she came back, she had all these, pardon me, oh, she had all these odd scars around her nose and up under her eyes, and, well, the explanation was that this moth, some other type of insect, flew up her nose, lodged in her sinus cavities, and laid eggs. Well, one night at her dinner table, they hatched. And the sensation, well, you can imagine whatever that was so bad that she started to claw at her face with her hands, and when that wouldn't work, she picked up her fork and she started to stab herself. Gee.
Give it here. You got to get that typewriter out of your head, girl, and drown it in this. It's not the way to get it out of there.
How come they call it Elephant Butte anyway? Doesn't look like an elephant.
Well, sure it does. There's the head.
Where?
Up there.
Where?
In between the ears.
No, I don't.
Well, there's the trunk.
Am I going mad?
It's an old elephant. It's 100,000 centuries old, all dried up inside. Poor bugger must be thirsty staring at all that water.
Well, where's his lips?
He walked through all that sand and time just to get to that big old watering hole. And right when he got there, his insides dried up, turned to stone. The dry, wet dreams of Elephant Butte.
Hey! Hey, I can see. I can see one moving vertical elephant hair! Hey, Teal, it's moving from one elephant ear to the other!
It is!
Well, shit howdy, there he is.
Whew. Hey, Teal.
What?
Why did the ant crawl all the way up the elephant's leg and then come splushing all the way back down, and then go crawling all the way up that elephant's leg and then come splushing all the way back down?
Why?
Because he was pissed off. Peed, Teal.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey everyone! I know. I was just driving by. Evelyn, I left just like you said. Evelyn? Evelyn, I don't think this is a good place for you to stay. I don't. I have a bad feeling about this whole idea. Mexico is just down the road. Oh, sweetheart, in my gut, I have a bad feeling about this whole idea, so why don't you just come with me? We'll get a motel room. I'll drive you to the marina first thing in the morning.
No!
Evelyn! Be reasonable. There's scorpions and there's snakes and flying rocks and strange natives. I've met a few. Oh, it's dark.
No!
Evelyn! Evelyn! You look a little off kilter. It's quite alarming. Sweetheart, the man at the marina said that there's a storm system coming, a big storm. And I'm not wild about the idea of you spending the day out on the lake given the high incidence of lightning. So we'll spend the night together.
No!
Evelyn! Okay. I didn't want to tell you this. I wanted it to be special. A special circumstance. A special moment. Sweetheart. You're pregnant. You are pregnant. Surprise! Isn't it wonderful? So now I'm sure you'll agree we wouldn't want our baby spending the night out here on the ground in a sleeping bag.
Talmadge! Talmadge, are you hurt?
Yes!
Damn!
Where are you hurt?
I heard everywhere! That's it, Evelyn! We're getting the fuck out of here!
Hank Graves, you promised you would never fire at me again. You promised. You gave me your word. You got down on your knees. You kissed your Bible. You swore up and down on the Virgin Mary. You vowed you would never shoot at me again, so you cut it out, God damn it. Hank Graves, don't you ever never fire at me again. You hear me? I am sick of it. I am sick of it. I have had it with your bullets. Sons of bitches. It's not beer. It's enough to give a dog's rectum heartburn. Huh?
Come on!
What?
Come on!
I ain't coming on anywhere, Teal. I tell you what, I'm going to sleep here right now. I got a big day tomorrow. I got to catch me some lonkers and win me $30,000. That's what. Don't worry, he won't fire again tonight. He's spent.
Are you sure?
He knows he shoots at me again tonight. He's dead meat. Dead meat! Now go to bed, Teal.
Ramona, do you know this man?
Yeah, I know him.
Well, who is it?
It's my husband.
I didn't know you still had a husband.
Yeah, I do.
Well, Why is he shooting at you?
Why? You ever had a conversation with a hunter, Teal?
Yeah.
Then you know why it is a man likes to shoot. You also know why it is that when a hunter's gone and shot himself a deer, it's got to be the most lovely, beautiful deer in the whole forest. The more beautiful the deer, the sweeter he feels sitting out there in the woods with that dead deer's head in his lap, stroking it, the more in love he is. It's a sexual thing, Teal.
Huh?
You see, killing is as close as a man can get to giving birth. It's as close as he can get to putting his hands on the life force.
Oh.
Putting his hands on it, feeling it up inside his teeth, directing it, being in charge for once in his poor, pitiful life instead of being constantly battered around. You got any dental floss?
No, sorry. Got some light test fishing line. 8 pound?
Sure, that'll do.
Okay, Ramona, does he really want to kill you?
Oh, he knows if he could do it again, he would. He doesn't want it to be over. He just, best he can do is hover around it.
Well, did you know he was going to come?
Yeah, I knew. I invited him.
You invited him?
Yep. Sent him a Zara Spook. Put a little coconut oil on it. That was invitation enough, and he didn't put up one bit damn of a fight either, did he? You just got to know how to work those underground currents.
I do not understand.
Well, hate. Then, too, it's a sexual thing.
Oh!
You see, love is hard to get over. Hate's much harder. It takes a lot longer. When you finally do let go of hate, you are stranded in a loneliness that is deathly still. It can be devastating.
He hates you?
Yeah, me and 3 other wives before me.
But you don't hate him. Not if you wanted him to come.
Oh, that's hard to call. You know, feelings is kind of like matter. You can't destroy them, they just take on a different form.
Well, do you think he's still out there?
Oh, I know it. He's up there on that big stone elephant going back and forth, working up a breeze in his mind. Oh, this bag smells like cat piss. I tell you what, Teal, I don't know who's got the bigger thirst. That big stone elephant or that little stone man.
Ramona, what was that you were saying earlier? You know, about my asthma and wallpapering the world?
Huh?
You know, something about control.
I don't remember.
Everyone's one familiar pattern.
Oh, yeah. Put your own crazy pattern up all around you. Only trouble is, when you shut the world out, you shut yourself in.
You think asthma's a pattern?
Could be. The way I look at disease is, a person suffers enough pain in this life, pretty soon they get to making their own pain. Body figures if it's gonna be a victim, it might as well be its own. You know, first time I ever heard a man tell a woman she's pregnant, and the funny thing is, I believe him. Teal, you crying?
No. Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Well, you know, you don't fall into that victim category, honey. You'll